be exactly what you want to be without all of the fear around you. We have to stand up together.
Welcome to all you business owners. That's what this show is all about. It's for business owners, people who serve businesses, people who work for businesses. This show is about this is about a family called merchants, right? A family called merchants. It goes all the way back to the beginning of time. I feel like we are blessed to be at the end of a DNA, this beginning of a new DNA of people that have fought and rebelled against working for somebody else, letting somebody else control our destiny. Whether we do well or whether we don't, it's interesting. Just all the people that I know that as I have built companies, as I've failed at companies, as I've succeeded at companies, it was all on me, baby. It was all on me. I couldn't blame anybody else. I couldn't point the finger at anybody else. I could, but that would make me a weak business owner. It's like, oh, it's my employees. No, it's not the employees. It's always the leadership. It's always the system. It's always the product or service. It's always a lot of things, right? Formulaic. So we're gonna get into a little bit of that. We've got a lot of brand new viewers. Thanks to my team for getting this out over multiple platforms. That's really, really helped. Also, thank you to my regular watchers that have stuck with me for 4 or 5 years since we started doing these shows. Thank you for being here. Thank you for referring this show out. And welcome to all of you new viewers who might be here for the first time. I am Jason Sisneros. This is Built to Exit Podcast. I love doing the show. It's 9 a.m. Brent live. You may be watching this on replay somewhere around the world or whatever, but Eastern Standard Time, where we do this show from, it's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time every single Saturday, with the rare exception that we're not able to get here on time. Well, on time or at all, because sometimes I'm on stages on Saturdays or we're somewhere around the world. But anyways, that we do our best to do this every single Saturday. And then afterwards, for those of you that like to interact live and you go, I've got something to ask, I've got a statement about what you talked about, we get together live. We all shift over to Twitter, x.com. And you look up my handle, which is at the J Sisneros. You click into it, you follow it, you do all the stuff, and you will see about 4 or 5 minutes after we finish this live broadcast, you will see something pop up that says the after party, the B2X after party, built to exit. That's what we are. Those of you that wonder about the website, you want to check us out as you're going through the podcast. It's built to exit.biz. Built to exit.biz. Those of you that are just like, who is this handsome bald guy? I need to know more about him. You can go to jasonsisneros.com to find out more about me there. And you can always do your just regular Google or go to LinkedIn and find out more about the business stuff. So anyway, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show on a Saturday. I'm always shocked at the amount of people that come out on a Saturday. This is how I know that you are the right viewer. This is how I know that you are the right person. Now, I know there's also a group of people that follow me that think they do what I do, and they take my words and then they go put it into ChatGPT and they clean it up and they make it their own. Also happy to have people that follow and mimic. I love that. But for the most part, this show exists for a younger version of me who wish I would have had somebody who had knowledge, experience, and results that I could actually have conversations with. I learned that later on in my business career and ended up on the road with Tony Robbins as one of his top speakers. And which was an amazing experience, by the way, but also put me in the proximity to the most amazing business owners on the planet, because when I was interviewing them, I had 3 notebooks of my screw ups. So those of you that have watched the show at all, I had 3 bankruptcies in succession. and went into a deep depression, as you can imagine. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. That led me to Tony Robbins, put me on the stage and speaking for him for about 4 or 5 years. And I used that 4 or 5 years to be in the proximity of some of the greatest business minds on the planet. And I humbled myself. Well, I'll tell you, we talk about exits here. Life humbled me. Those failures, those bankruptcies humbled me. It caused a divorce. It caused, so much pain and depression, me jumping into a bottle and losing everything and all that kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, and I find this to be really, really true. This is not part of the show yet today. We're talking about scam versus authenticity, but it is something I do speak from my heart a lot when I'm doing these shows, because I think it's real. And I remember when, and this may be where you are or somebody that is running a business where they are, because we have built to exit, where we do a couple of things. We have a digital product that is an incredible 28 hours of how to optimize your business, to then move it into pre-due diligence and due diligence to sell for the most money that you can possibly sell it for. We also have a team of people that are there for to go in to businesses and do deep dives and all these other kind of things. And one of the scenarios, as we've looked through all of the customer base, and I think back to my earlier days, there's not ever been somebody that walked through our door that says, "Hey, we're doing it. We've got all the money we want. My employees are happy. Our customers just absolutely love us. Can you help us get to that next level?" It never happens. Okay. And I think back, the reason why this spurred in me this morning was because as I think back to my 3 bankruptcies, I don't know that I would have listened to anybody, because guess what? For me, I was making the most money that I'd ever made in my entire life. I was respected in the community. A kid, a nobody from nowhere that didn't graduate from high school, was able to get some respect because I had a business and because it appeared to be successful and because I appeared to have a nice house, which I did have a nice house, but it belonged to the bank. And when you stop paying the bank, it's not your house anymore. So was it ever really my house? Nope, they took it back. So cars and vehicles and the embarrassment of all of that, and then having to radically reduce my lifestyle to get back in alignment with the fact that I was $2 million in debt, and and had to start to figure out how to get myself out of that. Now with a bad reputation, now with bad credit, now with all of the things that go along with it, and easily to research that stuff. So now who's going to hire you? Right? It's this death spiral. And it all started with a level of arrogance that was misplaced. The amount of profit that you have, the amount of money that you're making, if a business owner is correct, if they are honest with themselves, right? If they're honest with themselves, most business owners are a month away to 3 months away from going out of business. And we all know this, like in our heart, like away from everybody that we know respects us and works for us, and and all of that. We know we're a month to 3 months away from being done. Every business, not just some businesses, a bad decision, a lawsuit, there's all of these things. And I look back and I think this is important to set the table for the subject matter today, that I wasn't expecting to talk about. But we all have that knowledge, but we don't think it's going to happen to us because today there was money in the bank, because today our doors were open, because today that marketing piece went out, because today our customers actually paid their bills. We get into that mode, and that's not to say that great job. I mean, awesome. There's less than 10% of all businesses ever see their 10th birthday. So congratulations on being open today, right? Not taken away from that. But what I would say if to my younger self is to say, if you're doing well, then accelerate that, right? Understand, come to the conclusion very quickly that no matter what you do, you have a formula for delivering that, but you have no formula for actually exiting that. Everybody exits. How matters is the punchline of what we do at Built to Exit, which basically just means one way or the other. Nobody gets out of this lifetime alive, right? We're all headed somewhere. And we're not taking this business with us to whatever that other realm is, right? It's not happening. So do you hand over a mess or debt or a mess to your families for them to clean up if something happens to you? What happens if you get, you become, you get some sort of disability and you can't operate your business? These things are not stuff that we think about because we happen to be an overly optimistic in my mind, people called business owners. But what happens? So it's just that planning. You should start planning now, right? You should start planning now for what that looks like. Now, because this has a lot to do with whether you're getting this information, people that are going to help you, whether you're dealing with a scam or whether you're dealing with somebody that can actually help you and be a partner. Okay. And so you look at if you come to that proper conclusion, say everybody exits, you have a involuntary exit, which is everything that is involuntary. You run out of money, you've got a partner that starts fighting with you, you get a lawsuit, the government comes in, the tax man, a medical thing, a partnership thing, lots of stuff where you go, you're going to have to involuntarily exit this. And by the way, there's 3 versions of this stuff that has happened this week over the last couple of weeks. 3 real world scenarios where we are helping, my team is helping to straighten these things out. So this is not theory. This is not conjecture. This is 3 real world scenarios, and I'll give you a little brief outline on what they are that I'm now currently helping on, and that we've seen that this happens. So you get to that place where you go, okay, involuntary exit, I don't want that. Dictated exit means I'm going to sit down as a rookie across from a professional and they're going to rip me off from my business. By the way, if you don't understand this dictated exit, the time frame that you find yourself in as a business owner, you're going to know about it because everybody and their dog. There's this phrase called the greatest transfer of wealth is happening under a bed. You can't turn on a fake guru thing. You can't watch an ad from the newest, straight-faced person who's had $100 million exit or, did $20 billion on Wall Street, bullshit. But you can't turn on any of those ads without hearing that phrase. It's the greatest transfer of wealth from baby boomers to the next generation through their business. So you got to put yourself in position to be an acquisition specialist. Come to my weekend and we're going to teach you how to buy a business. Not only that, but we're going to teach you how to run one successfully. Oh, I want to pound my head against a wall because running a business is not easy. Buying a business is not easy, but they're cloning them out. Like just think about one of those little deals, and they're just like kunk kunk. Here's an acquisition expert. Kunk kunk. Here's an acquisition expert. And so they're wasting so much time because it's not the greatest transfer of wealth. You want to know why? And I hope my team captures this and we put this out all over social media. It is not the greatest transfer of wealth. It is the greatest destruction of wealth in mankind's history. Why? Because baby boomers, older X, whoever, they're saying, oh, baby boomers are turning they're turning 65 at 10,000 a day for the next 19 days. Okay, great. Yes, baby boomers built a lot of businesses. Yes, they did. But are they transferring? The transfer of wealth means that dollar for dollar or even a little bit higher than that dollar, the transfer of wealth is happening from one generation to the next. Take any business, your dad's business, your grandpa's business, whatever it is, and you transfer that means that there has to be systems and processes and things that have been thought out, and the marketing and SOPs, and you have a data room, and you have all of these things that are mapped out. Bullshit. That is not what exists. What is happening, the most of what's happening, is those businesses built up a level of wealth and a level of value that then there's nobody to transfer it to. Why? Because the business owner is needed. The relationships are not structured to be sequential and to be timely and to be repetitive. You don't have a team of people that can take over. There's no exit planning in place. So it's not the greatest transfer of wealth. It's the greatest destruction of wealth and the greatest consolidation of wealth into large corporations, right? And we talk about ethical capitalism. It's going from ethical capitalism to unethical capitalism to monster businesses who are supported by rip-off artist politicians. That's what's happening. That's why this show exists, is to stop that, is to make sure that there is a transfer of wealth, and there can't be a transfer of wealth if there's nobody that knows what's happening and that has any sense of humanity and ethical standards about them to help the transfer actually happen. There are willing participants of people and talent that could absorb these businesses and make them better and add technology and take them into the next generation. But you can't do that on horse shit. You can't do that on these weekends that teach you and give you some unearned sense that you now are an acquisition M&A person, or that you are somebody who can run a business properly. Right? There you can, but it takes time. It takes knowing what you're actually doing. It takes getting your ass handed to you a few times, right? Like, I don't want to make this heavy, but I want to make sure that we're leaning into the title of this business for you, the business owner who should be watching me, okay? I know that what we do is not for everybody, right? We know that we're going to help about 600 businesses over the next 5 years that actually make the transition of what they've built as a store of value called a business, right? Most people think of gold as a store of value. I look at business as a store of value only if you can turn it from a cash producing business into something that has enterprise value that somebody else can buy and predictably make money into the future with you gone, right? That's what we talk about here. That's where in order for you to understand the difference between a scam, you the business owner, somebody who's worked in your business, you've built it, you've taken it to the next level, you're planning on taking it to the next level. That's who I'm talking to. Everybody that owns a business or is in a business can benefit from this conversation. That's why I do the show. That's why I think we have a wider audience. But we personally at Built to Exit, we really know that there's only about 600 people that will make the connection to the fact that they have to exit, do the work, keep themselves, in the formula, and then end up being able to optimize their exit, being able to walk away into their end game, having transferred their wealth or that machine called a business to someone else and take the money off the table. Very rare, only 600 of you, so the rest of you can just relax and learn some stuff week to week, okay? Hi, my name is Jason Sisneros, founder and chairman of Built to Exit, a world-class business consulting firm that's helped hundreds of clients and thousands of business owners fix, scale, and successfully master their companies. Let me ask you a question. Are you serious about changing the direction of your business, but you don't have the funds to bring in a high-level consulting team? Well, then keep watching. We created the Built to Exit system specifically for entrepreneurs like you. Whether you're a startup trying to avoid costly mistakes or a seasoned owner stuck in a plateau or a downturn. This do-it-yourself system
is your answer. Now, this course isn't easy. It's not a gimmick. It's not sugar-coated motivational feel-good fest if you know me at all. It's a graduate level masterclass built from decades of business ownership, consulting, and real-world results. If you're willing to do the work and follow the blueprint we use with companies that pay us 5 and 6 figures, you will finally have a system that gives you time freedom, financial control, and a clear path to a successful exit. So if you're serious about building a business that works with or without you, go to www.b2xsystem.com right now, because everybody exits. The only question is how.
So foundationally, okay, so formulaic, and then we're going to get right into I got a lot of slides here. I'm going to blaze through them, but the slides you can come back and revisit on the replay. But I want to talk a little bit about this formula. All right. And again, it's just real world stuff, right? Real world. It's going on as we speak. 4 examples. Number 1 is an example where we partnered with somebody on a business, and I have to keep this stuff, again, business, it's like being inside of somebody's marriage. So we, and you can't really talk about the stuff that you find, but we can talk about at high level. All right. So that you can understand the thought processes. So, opportunity number 1, we start 2 years ago and we partnered on this one. My wife and I and my team, we partnered with them on this, and we started to put it together. We had a business partner that was like, okay, what are we going to do with this business? And we said, here's how you build a business. And there's the formula. It's the B2X formula. Now, 80% of my formula is a formula that other people have, and but we have sequencing, and we have experience. We have other things that makes it B2X and makes it proprietary, which is why we have proprietary information, right? And we said, if you follow, and I said, and at the beginning of this relationship, we said, if you follow our formula, imagine being Coca-Cola. Right? And being Coca-Cola, and because somebody else has a drink, they go, I know what to do, right? I know what to do. And we're not gonna follow you go in, you buy Coca-Cola, and you go, you know what? I don't really care about their formula. Right? I don't really, and they think that, and most people think the formula to Coca-Cola is how it tastes. It's not. It's a color. It's the marketing. It's the distribution. It's the how many trucks are running. It's the profit margins. It's what other industries are they in? Who do they get to sponsor? The Coca-Cola formula, who somebody thinks is locked up in a safe somewhere, which probably is, but that is the key. It's not the key. There's Pepsi and there's 100 other drinks. Why is there only one Coca-Cola? And why do they kick ass? It's because they have a formula. And if most business owners that I run into, right, the arrogant ones, especially the ones that are in a good position, just like I was, that are in a good position with their business, they would walk in and go, I am a successful business owner, mainly because my business is not closed down yet. Right? Imagine thinking that is a measure of success, which it is. It's a little one, right? Congratulations, you have business today. But imagine that most of those people that walk in, they're going, oh, you know what? Let's tweak this and let's tweak that and let's change the formula to Coca-Cola. There's a formula that wasn't invented by Jason Sisneros that says, here's how business goes. I captured that, right? I captured that, and then I made my own tweaks, and we added, sequencing, and we added gamification, and we added some algorithms, and we added some AI, and we've added some stuff that really helps. But the core is running a successful business has never changed over a millennium, since the first goat was traded for the first egg. Hasn't changed. So let's look at that formula and the formula properly applied. Now that we're headed towards an opening, and our partner who has doubted. No, there's no reason not to doubt. Like, I think a good person doubts and questions, but our partner in that project has doubted at different times. And, well, I wonder what if, like, blah, blah, blah. There's always those things until you get the outcome that you're looking for. And now as we are getting those results, it's like, oh, that's why we did it. Yes, the formula. Oh, that person that we just hired is exactly perfect for that role. It's like they showed up out of magic. No. They showed up 2 years ago. We did just hire them now. They just have been being the perfect person for the last couple of weeks, right? But it was 2 years ago when we set the formula and we created that person or those hires in a scientific laboratory, right? Because I know the formula, my team knows the formula, and we follow our formula every single time. Okay. Now, you get people who get in. And a lot of, like I said, nobody calls us up and goes, hey, Jason, I've got a lot of money, great, blah, 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 everything I said at the beginning. We've got all this stuff. We've got all these people. It's so perfect. Can you come in and help us? No, it's usually, oh my God, I'm crashing. I'm running out of money. I got screwed on a purchase. I really want to take this thing to the next level, but I've got a team of people that are around me that it's not letting that happen. That's when we get the call. And so we then go, okay, and this is, I promise you I'm going to get to this fix because all of this is relevant to whether you have a scam or whether you have a partner. If you have a partner, and I'm going to go through these and you're going to have slides to refer back to, but if you have a partner, they've been there before, or they recognize when you hit a barrier or an obstacle, they recognize that neither one of you have that experience, and we need to go find somebody who does, that knows how to go over, go through, go under, go around that obstacle to get to the outcome. Okay. And these other three areas that are real world scenarios, 25-year business built really, really well. And then you had a fake acquisition person, somebody that had there been due diligence, right? I wrote down 3 things that you can do, that you should just put in. If you do nothing else, if this is the only time you're ever exposed to me, you want to optimize your current company. Okay. That's number 1. And so assessment, right? You got to assess where your business is so that you know the valuation of it, right? We have a free assessment up at builttoexit.biz. Anybody can go and take it, shoots it out. There's no commitment. There's no price. As of yet, I know my team is going to put it behind a paywall in a couple weeks, but you can go and do that now. Number 2 is due diligence on who you're doing business with. Either if you're getting help with optimization, or you're getting help to sell your business. If you do any due diligence, every time I come to a place where a deal is falling apart, which by the way, quick numbers, 90% of companies never see their 10th birthday. Of that 10% that do make it, less than 7% of those that get marketed and put on the marketplace ever sell. Of that 7% that actually does sell, 50% of those unwind post-close. Checks have been written, partial checks mostly, contracts have been signed, and it falls apart because the person who actually acquired the business doesn't have the money, doesn't have the experience, lied about their experience, blah, blah, blah. And we're right in the middle of that if that group of people had have done 5 seconds of due diligence, because it came up immediately when I did the due diligence on who was screwing them over, came up immediately that prior to this, they had bad experiences, right? There was lawsuits. There was all these other kind of things that would have said, oh, I'm not going to go down that path with this person. But that person, we didn't do due diligence on them, and this group of people, we didn't do due diligence. And so we ended up, sometimes that's a flip of a coin, right? Because some people are trustworthy. Some people just appear to be trustworthy. But sometimes that works out for us, but most of the time it doesn't. Because if you do your due diligence, you'll find, and all you got to do is check LinkedIn and do a Google. Like, it's not that hard. It's not that hard. And the third piece, obviously, self-promoting, is to watch this damn show, the Built to Exit podcast. Second real world scenario that we're going through. And by the way, we're going to help unwind that and put it back together. The business was purchased. All the value was sucked out of it. It was cashed in on by this person. And now it's gone into bankruptcy, and we're gonna help that situation to put that business back together again. Now, the second one is really a little bit tougher, right? And this is for you business owners who think you have a team around you. Okay, I want you to think about this. A business owner who thinks they have a team around them, and you realize that most business owners are people who are gregarious. They know their product and their service and can make sales because they've earned the trust of the community, of a group of people, because what they say they do, they actually do, and they do well, right? Enough to get referrals. And then because they're unconscious, there's a secondary skill set called being able to build a business behind just production and being able to sell something, that they bring in a team of people, and that team of people is structured mainly to make sure that the money is collected on the sales that the owner is making, and so that they get paid on Friday or biweekly or whenever they get paid. But there's no other optimization. Right? There's no other optimization. This is how you can tell the difference between a scam and a partner. Now, if you've put together a group of people as a business owner, and the only thing that the comments that are made by business owners, they're like, "Well, I have an amazing team of people behind me." Okay, so what's your enterprise value right now? Right? How much money do you have in the bank that's been saved up? What are your numbers on the financial side? Do you have a data room that's leading you to someday being able to pass this over to your kids or to a management team so that you can go do something else, or to outright sell? What is your MRR? What's your relationship to the customer? What's your management team? How's it being built? What's your exit plan? How's it being executed? Right? And there's no answers to that because the only thing that has happened is you plug people in where you hate doing those things, and they appear to have helped your business because now you can go sell more. Okay? And at the end of the day, they're not helping. Right? They're not helping. And that was my other scenario where we've got a whole entire team of people that now, after 5 or 6, 7 years of working with this owner, we come in, we say, we did our assessment. We said, "Hey, here's your situation, right? This is what's going on around you." And not pointing fingers at because that's a long term. Like, if you decide as the business owner, "Hey, this has to be fixed," it's a longer term for you to be able to properly educate, hire new, extricate people. That's a longer term thing so that you don't interrupt the actual cash flow. But then that group of people, let me tell you the phrase: if you're unwilling to be held accountable, if you're unwilling to be measured, you're unwilling to be held accountable. And if that's your team and they go, "We want to keep stuff exactly as it is right now," then you have a crooked team who's lazy and taking advantage of you and will never, ever help you build something of value to pass on to be able to build whatever it is, because they're hiding. You've passed off important information. You've abdicated it rather than delegated it. And now people in your business have sway over you and control over you and leverage over you because you've allowed it. Okay? And in that particular scenario, you have something that could sell for in the hundreds of millions of dollars that I doubt will ever, it'll make a little bit of money. And then I think there's going to be something that happens. Well, I hope not, because I like the person. But at the end of the day, this just happened, right? You got a team that doesn't want to be held accountable. Therefore, they won't be measured and makes all kinds of excuses. Anyway, I'm going to move on just a little bit because we have, for in the interest of time. First one, again, scam, right? This is why this was important. Now we're going to get into the content. First one I told you about, where they built a business over 20 plus years. Now it's in bankruptcy. That was a scam. They didn't end up with a partner, right? The business I just talked about that we went in, did the assessment, told them everything was going on, and that team of people who are incompetent but have control over certain levers of the business, that's a scam, right? It's a scam. That's not a partnership. And the first one that I started out with, that's a partner. because they may have felt uncomfortable about following the B2X formula, but they trusted it, and now has, like many times, again, do your due diligence on us. Like, it's easy. You can Google and you can LinkedIn my name, and you can find out all of the people that we've helped. But ultimately, they followed the formula. They have a partner in us, right? We have partners that we partner with because we trust them. We do our due diligence, and we know the end game. Okay, so let's go through this really quick so you understand the signs of whether you're dealing with somebody that is a scam. And if you own a business, I promise you are going to be approached by at least 10 scam artists over the course of the next 6 months, at least 10, because there's this huge influx of people that are being sold the idea that they can become acquisition specialists over a weekend, with being taught by people who are not acquisition specialists. So, all right, let's get into it. So, hacks, scam artists, right? They show up with buzzwords, but no track record, right? We're doing a roll up. We've got capital partners. Again, I'll give you some green lights over here on the other end, but let me just tell you how you quash this. It's 2 questions. Number 1, where is your money? Okay, if you're doing acquisitions, show me a bank state, like a letter from a banker. That's the minimum. Or 2, show me a bank account that's got escrow money that you can do this deal with me. Okay, those 2 things you're going to get rid of 98. I'm telling you, 98%. There's 6,000 private equity firms that are out there right now. About 1,500 of them valid. Excellent, beautiful companies, right? They really know what they're doing, which means they can kick your ass, by the way, okay? But they do know what they're doing, and it's worth the battle with them because you're going to get top dollar, right? Especially if you know the process of how to get there. Pretty much everybody else wasting your time. Now, that doesn't count. That 6,000 private equity firms does not count all of the recent graduates of acquisition expert, blah, 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 right? There's hundreds of thousands of them, right? So it's like the needle in the haystack, literally, all right? So these are the people that you want. These are the things. Now you do that. So here's a couple of things that happen. You end up doing all the due diligence, but you're doing due diligence on yourself, okay? Big key. They come in and they're like, all right, well, we want to know about your business. We need to go through and do your due diligence stuff. And you're doing all this stuff. You're putting together papers. You're trying to validate. You're covering up some of the mistakes of the past. You're doing all of the things that you should have done before you ever had this conversation. But you do all the due diligence, and you don't do any due diligence on them, right? Big mistake. They ask for seller financing. This is a huge red flag. Now, again, a good acquisition person, this is like 101. Like, it's like you come in, oh, you've never done anything like this before. You sit down in this little class and you look up at the teacher and he goes, you know what? Here's basically what you can do. You want to go for seller financing. And you go, okay, that's my first widow note because I'm a widow baby. I'm a widow baby in the acquisitions market, but I know that I could get the owner that doesn't know what they're doing to sell me their business for no money down. Right? It's like the first day. Welcome to our session. First thing is you could get buyers or sellers to give you their business because they're excited about getting rid of it. They ask for seller financing or a work for free structure, right? That's all that is. And third, the deal dies, or worse, they use your financials to pitch the next sucker, or as I was giving the example before, they take your business and they put like a little syringe in it and they suck out, they start selling off the assets. They start firing your top staff. They continue to collect on the contracts that are there, but stop doing the bid. So they lose your top clients, right? And then pretty soon they go, oh, there's nothing left here. We got to file bankruptcy, and here's your business back. And we didn't pay you the money that we owed you, and here's your business back. Good luck. And if by some chance you're able to build it back, You have to dig out, you have to bring back the employees, you have to go land those clients again, you have to replace all of the product, the assets that they sold off, and you have to overcome now that brand that you built so diligently over 15, 20, 30, 40, 52 generations, whatever it is, years, is now diminished because of what happened. Okay.
Are you a business owner running hard, burning out, and still not getting ahead? I'm Jason Sisneros, founder of Built to Exit. I've bought, built, fixed, exited over 24 companies of my own. I've helped hundreds of business owners do the same. If you're listening to this podcast, you probably didn't start your business to be trapped in it. And yet, here you are, overwhelmed, underpaid, drowning in noise from fake gurus and recycled advice. Been there. Built to Exit isn't just another course. It's not a magic bullet, it's a system, a proven blueprint built from real-world experience, not theory. We help owners control the 3 things that really matter in business: price, the timing, and the terms of your exit. Whether that means more cash in your pocket now, more freedom starting today, or a full-blown exit strategy that lets you walk away on your own terms, our team knows how to get you there. So if you're done guessing, done with the excuses, and ready to win, visit builttoexit.biz today to schedule your free 15-minute strategy call with a senior advisor. We'll show you exactly where the leaks are in your business and how to fix them, because everybody exits. How you exit is the only thing that really matters. Builttoexit.biz. We play to win. Do you?
It's not selling courses, it's buying companies with no money down. This is the new grift. Okay. You just have to know that it's out there, and that's okay. I don't ever hold people's hustle against them. I just don't want people coming into my family called small and mid-sized business owners and screwing them over. I don't like it. Okay. Red flags: you're dealing with a predator, not a partner. Sell themselves with buzzwords, not credentials. Real partners don't market magic. Okay. That's what I said in the first 2. Do you have the money, and have you done this before? Okay. Do you have the money, and have you done this before? You got if you just ask these 2 questions. If you just ask these 2 questions, right? Because everybody's now a coach and teaching you how to build your business up for exit and all this other kind of stuff, and yet you don't do the due diligence to see what are the deals that you've done in the past, and to see if they've got the money in the bank account. Okay. 2, they make promises before asking questions. These are the real slick people, right? The people that are like, oh my gosh, I trust it. And they play, because most business owners, let me tell you this, most business owners who have been in business for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, they're some of the most honest people that you can come across, because that you don't stay in business by being a cheat or a liar. You just don't. I know that there's this big in major corporations and all that kind of stuff. I know that they cheat, and I know that they lie, and I know all of that kind of stuff, but that does not apply for small and mid-sized business owners. We cannot be liars. We get found out. It's a small community. It's a small, if you lie and cheat or whatever, nobody's going to go to your restaurant. Nobody's going to hire your roofing business. Nobody's going to hire, it's so important that here's why this matters on this point, is because we are trustworthy, we expect the people that are now wanting to buy our business to be trustworthy. That's what stops us from doing any due diligence. That's what stops us from accepting their lines of bullshit about the stuff that you do find if you do look, right? Oh, that was just a mistake. Oh, they made of this, so made of that. There's too many people that know what they're doing in acquisitions for you to end up with somebody that's got a bad reputation and has got provable, trackable mistakes that they've made in, not mistakes, but I don't know. Look, everybody makes mistakes, but I believe that there are ones that are made out of, with intent. And those are the people you want to avoid. The people that are good scam artists usually come across as the most trustworthy. Okay. They're the most gregarious. They smell the best. They're the best looking people. Like it's, they're good at it because people go, oh my God, you're so beautiful, or you're so handsome. You smell so good. And it just must be, you just must be trustworthy. No, that's not our job. Okay. Our job is to just ask a couple of questions. And if your team happens to be part of that problem, you got to start thinking about replacing your team. Okay, here's what they say. We could easily 3X this without asking any questions, right? 90% of the time, if you end up on a phone with me or my team, 90% of our meeting is going to be questions about what your business is doing. Where has it been? What is your outcome? How are we going to get there? Like, driving back to it. Those of you that have dealt with me, that have brought me these types of deals, I sit there and I spend most of my time asking questions. Right? When I buy a business, when my wife and I buy businesses, it's all about questions, and we dig and we dig and we dig and we dig. We don't come in and go, oh, I don't need to see anything. I'm Jason, and now you're gonna get three times what you're gonna get, 10x. We're gonna 10x all this stuff, right? You're leaving money on the table, and we've got a PE group ready to buy your business right now. Now, it's just, it's as the slide says, it's no analysis, just bait, okay? They push urgency with manufactured scarcity. This is a good one. That's a good one. You got to do this deal. Like, we're in acquisition mode, and we've got 4 or 5 deals on the table right now. And if you don't sell us our business, we're going to go out and we're going to buy your competitor, and then we're going to buy you or put you out of business. Like, urgency, urgency, urgency. And you're like, holy shit, it's the first time anybody's ever offered to buy my business. I better sell. And you sign the deal, and you pay that price for a very, very, very long time. Anything that can't wait. There is no such thing as an opportunity that you have today that's going to be gone tomorrow. Now, I understand, raising money, there's time. But every single time you're rushed into a buying decision, you make bad decisions, right? It's when what did Keith always says, emotions high, intellect low, right? Intellect high, emotions low. So you never want to get pushed into a situation where there's manufactured scarcity or time urgency. The goal is to get you to give up control before you understand what you're agreeing to. And I'm telling you, these people are professionals. They are professionals. They do this all day, every day, because they know business owners are amongst the most honest, trusting people on the face of the planet. Okay? You get taken advantage of. They offer you an opportunity that ends up looking like a trap. So here's what I mean by trap. We want you to buy the business, but we want to keep you in this deal for the next 3 years. You've got to run it. Oh, so your emotional brain goes, oh my gosh, yes. Okay, let me run you through the psychology really quick. Somebody wants to buy my business. Yes, I have done something right. Okay, and then the next part of it is, they're like, and we really, really need you to stay here to run it. Oh, the uneducated mind goes, oh, I am needed in this business for it to succeed. Dun, 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 right? And then they go, now they start tying performance levels, and they say, we're going to give you a little bit of money now, and then we're going to live a little bit money if you hit these targets. And all of a sudden you wake up 6 months into this deal going, holy shit, they just got my business for free, basically. And I have to work here and make this thing even better to be able to get paid, right? You wake up one day and you go, oh my God, I got taken. And these are the deals that will be offered to you. Matter of fact, if I'm in acquisition mode, I'm going to offer all of these deals because it's the right way to acquire a project. I'm trying to protect on the sell side of this business. There's very few companies, very few brands that you could point to that say that brand is in business to protect on the sell side. Okay, lots of people protecting and interested on the buy side because they can find unsuspecting businesses that are got a tremendous amount of latent embedded value that the owner doesn't know about, and they're able to dig it, mine it, and be able to make money on it later. But there's very, very few people that are actually helping. The percentage that it costs somebody to actually sell their business all the way through to it is somewhere around 40%, right? So now you've worked 10, 15, 20, 3 generations, and 40% of it's going out the door for the team of people that are surrounding you to help you. We want to get that down to 15 to 20%, and you can do that just by asking questions. You don't have to be a professional at this, but just by being getting some information here as you do every single week. Okay, let's blaze through the rest. Green flags, you're dealing with a true partner. Market with proof, not promises. Okay, so in other words, you talk to them, you go, hey, blah, 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 have you done this before? Give us some evidence. You go to Google, you go to LinkedIn, there's some evidence. Clear credentials, verifiable deals, real client outcomes. The hardest thing to do in business, let me tell you something. The hardest thing to do for a consultancy business, an M&A business, any of these businesses, the hardest thing for us to do is to get a customer that we've helped. Trust me, there's some massive ass deals that have been done that have my name all over it, but nobody wants to say, hey, we use Jason, because that gives other people in that industry the knowledge that they had somebody helping them that knows what they're doing, right? We do have a lot of people. You can go to LinkedIn and check out all of the refer, but it is even those people that went to LinkedIn and put nice things about us was like pulling teeth getting them to say something, right? So clear credit. If somebody says something positive about somebody who is helping businesses, that is where you have somebody that you really want to take seriously. Okay. And there's lots of people that do this well. Now, in that realm, if there's people that have good things to say, now the only determination that you have to make is, are they an architect or are they a plumber? And here's what I mean by that. Architect, which is what we do, it's actually my nickname in the business community, is the architect, knows the whole entire project, asks you what you want to build, and then goes back in, reverse engineers with you on how to build that up, and hires the plumber, hires the painter, hires the ideas, all conceptual, by the way. But you don't, and what you don't want to do is go to a plumber and say, hey, I'm building the Taj Mahal and I'd like to sell it. And they go, well, I really know how to make sure that your toilet's flush, and maybe you have one of those things that blows air up your butt and has a heated seat and all that kind of stuff, but they're not the one that you want architecting. So make sure that you're dealing with an architect that has the ability to be able to get you to a sale, or for you to be able to retire or transfer that business. Okay. Real client outcomes. It's a big difference. You don't want to accidentally end up with a plumber, somebody who was, good at numbers, or they were a CFO somewhere for years. They're good at numbers, but they're not good at architecture. Okay. You don't want somebody that's good at sales, right? They've been great at sales, sold books, done all that kind of stuff, but you don't want them as an architect. Okay. Somebody that's good at operations. They're really, really good at operations, but they're not an architect. On and on and on. I could keep going. There is a specific type of person that you want helping to get you to sell. Start with questions, not valuations. That is, again, we went over that already. They ask the right questions, which is an indicator of their depth of experience. The questions reveal the experience that somebody has. Okay, they respect the pace, not push the panic. In fact, if you know anything about B2X, what we want you to do is control that pace. We want you to control it. We don't want it to be dragged out. We don't want it to be too quick. We want it to be on your pace. The 3 things that you get that we promise with a custom tailored exit, with built to exit, is that you're going to control the price that you get, you're going to control the timing of the deal, and you're going to control the terms of the deal. Those are the 3 things that we want you to, and you're seeing this pop up in a lot of other people's advertising right now, because I know you're watching me. You're welcome. They slow the process down. No pressure, no scarcity tactics, just steady strategic momentum, because optimization is first. And optimization does not happen under false pretenses. It does not happen under false time frames. Optimization only happens with methodical, well thought out, repeatable processes and procedures that create certainty for the future buyer and for the current owner of the business. Deal terms aren't always the problem. Oftentimes it's your business. Okay, this is very important. When you get an idea, I've got a business and it's worth $10 million. I can't tell you how many times I deal with arrogant and ignorant are a bad combination, right? Business owners that are like, well, I did $5 million last year. I want to sell this thing for 30. You have no data box. You have no systems and processes. You're needed on literally every transaction. This is a cash business, which is akin to basically being in the drug business. And I mean illicit drugs like cocaine. Like you have a cocaine business, and now you think that there's some enterprise value. There's not. So it oftentimes the reason why you will not get paid what it's worth, or you will not get paid at all, is because you have not built an actual enterprise value business. Okay, so that is step one. We taught our systems: assessment, where are you? 2, optimize what you have. 3, go into pre-due diligence on your own. And then 4, you go into due diligence with a targeted buyer. That's all we do all day long, every single day. If your business is not built to exit, terms will be lopsided. That's not their fault. That is your fault. That's it. Another episode in the vault, right? In the vault. And hope you learned some stuff. We love doing this. I love doing the show. My team puts together an amazing show every single week. We are getting lots of really great feedback. We're getting picked up on different cool things like Yahoo Finance, and we've got some stuff coming out in some other major magazines and all that kind of stuff. So at the end of the day, I guess people really are tired of getting screwed over. They're tired of being messed around. They're tired of a lot of things, and now they want real help. Okay. And we're here for it. We're here for it. There's lots of other people that do these kinds of things. I'm just telling you, please do your due diligence. Like, we can't handle all of you, and most of you are not our customer anyway. But if you do want to sell your business, if you do want to optimize it, if you do want to optimize the exit, we hope you consider us, right? And just reach out, go to builttoexit.biz, take the assessment for free. It's really, really valuable to you. Have a conversation with somebody on my team and see if we can help you or point you in the right direction. We're really, really adamant about making sure that the small and mid-sized business owner community thrives. We know that there's a lot of people out there. I can tell you, all you got to do is look at the ads that are coming across. And 99% of those ads, I know one particular company, one of them that's putting them out like, oh, we've done 100 million, blah, blah, blah. And it was a guy who has been a marketing specialist his entire life, who picked up a guy who did a couple of exits, that now they're portraying that guy who couldn't hit his own ass with both hands when it comes to an exit, an acquisition, a merger, or anything else, but he's good at marketing, now is a marketing acquisition expert. Okay? Do your due diligence. Just see what they were doing 6 months ago. See what they were doing two months ago. I've been in this business buying and selling from before I was ever known for it or teaching about it. I've been doing this most of my adult life. And I've got a team of people that have been with me 20, 15, 10 years that really just do want to help. And we're in the game, right? We're buying and selling. My wife and I are acquiring and exiting businesses all day. My team, this is what we do. We want the best for you. We want you to walk away with that money that you've earned for the asset that you've built. That's really what we want. And then as we help you make money, I know that the biggest thing that you can do to earn somebody's trust is to make them a bunch of money. My wedding was an example of that. That was my family on my side of the equation. Just a bunch of people I made money for that I fell in love with and became family. And, and then we can band together and we can do bigger and better things. And I know that you all know me closely, know that that's why I'm still in the game, is for that longer term, us coming together, standing up for the rest of our family called small and mid-sized business owners, because without it, we are slaves to larger corporations or to the government that we will have to beg for money. That's it. This is a way of freedom. This is a way of life. It's a privilege and it's an honor, and it's our responsibility to make sure that it lives on to the next generation. I'm Jason Sisneros. I'm going to shut the hell up now. And for Built to Exit, thanks for everybody on my corporate side. On the corporate side of B2X, our team, our strategists, our certified strategists are there to help you if you need help. Just reach out to us. And we are going to shift over now to X. Go over there, X, at the J Sisneros, and we're just going to have a conversation. Sometimes it's 15, 20 minutes. Sometimes it's 2 hours. It's time for you to bring your problems, your challenges. We can work on them there. It's time for you to meet other business owners who have been through this, are going through the same stuff, so you can do business with each other. It's a great community of people who have your best interest in mind. Love y'all very much, and we'll see you next Saturday here at Built to Exit. Share the show, keep sharing it, watch it, go back and refer to it. Make sure you do something different in your business with the information that I've given you this week. I love you all super, super lot, and we'll see you next Saturday. Peace.